Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Language Bites. Today I present or bring to you three cases in which we need to perhaps a little degree of formality and we need to be clearer in our message. So let's say you're writing a business report, conducting a meeting, or writing emails, simply writing emails. In any of these cases, we will for sure use pronouns or use some reference instance. And pronouns are a classic way to achieve so. So, in order to use them effectively, we need to study them and get to know them. So, that's what we're here for. Let's take a look at how we can reference backwards, that is, refer to something we have already mentioned. We've got three ways in which we can do so. He said the greater the risk, the greater the potential rewards. This might well be true. Here's our prototype. It gives pretty good idea of what we hope to make. John was arguing for cuts in the RRD budget. That's the last thing we need. Any of these instances, any of these cases are great when referring. We need to know that there are minor differences among them, but they are very useful because we can refer both to situations or objects. Let's take a look at how we can be emphatic by means of our choice of reference. We can go with the neutral form, of course, in that case, that would be it. Here's also a subsidized canteen. It's okay, but it's not better than in most companies. Now, and we have a gym exclusively for staff. That's one of the best things about working here. Or finally, there's our final salary pension scheme. This has been praised throughout the industry. In any of these cases, of these last two cases, we are giving emphasis to, and I am drawing your attention to this element that has just been said. Now, if we take a look at these two, perhaps at first hand, or they look rather, or at first height, they look similar. There's a meeting in the Kennedy Suite. It's very important and could go on for hours. There's a meeting in the Kennedy Suite. That's on the third floor by the lifts. If we take a moment to think about what each pronoun refers to, there's actually a difference. And that is because we're going to use it to refer to the main topic, whereas we're going to use that to refer to the last thing mentioned. In this case, the meeting is the overall or the general or the main topic, and then the last thing mentioned is the Kennedy Suite. Now, if we take a look at and compare these two, this and that, Carlos asked about the depreciation of the dollar. This will affect us all, he said. Carlos asked about the depreciation of the euro. That was unlikely in the foreseeable future, Kate answered. Just like in terms of distance, in which we use this to refer to things that are closer to us and that to refer to things that are further away, we're going to use that same meaning when referring to perhaps more abstract things or concepts. From the point of view of Carlo, it was close, it was important. This will affect us all. But in the second case, in which Kate is referring to something that Carlo said, perhaps she doesn't find it that relevant and it's rather distant for her. So that's why we use that. Let's compare he, she, they, these, and those. Now, I know that you know how to use he and she for reference. As in, Heather was the first of the candidates to be interviewed. She was very impressive. And I know that you know that when referring to plurals, we're going to use they. That's all right. Now I need to remind you as well that we're going to use they when referring to plural objects. That is, in which we feel tempted to use it. That's why we need to remember that it is only singular. In the case of this example, we discussed several options during the brainstorming sessions. They were all considered impractical, though. That they is referring to the sessions, an object, to the options. Well, I would need more meaning, more context now that I think about it. Good. And we discussed several options during the brainstorming sessions. These were quite good fun, by the way, but hard work. And so these serves as a good alternative. Not that nor this, because they are singular as well. And those would imply the distance mentioned before. What if we need to include new information by means of a pronoun? We can do so and refer to something that's going to come later on. Craig isn't a great team player. This is his main problem, though, his lack of creativity. So, Craig's lack of creativity is his main problem. Craig isn't a great team player. That's his main problem. In the case of that, I'm only referring backwards. So only this can refer to upcoming information. So let's do a little recap. Are we referring to old information or new information? That's going to determine the pronoun used. Do you want or do we want to be emphatic? That's also going to determine your pronoun. And from your point of view, is this something closer or more distant? Now, you know the drill. Practice makes perfect, so make sure to follow the link on the description box to access two activities on today's topic and start practicing. But since you're here, let's take a look at another one of our videos. All right, thanks for watching.